Hello, everyone. See what's going on. Says I'm live. Checking audio real quick. Looks like audio levels are working. So today we're gonna do a bit more of Sunless Citadel, and we also might do some item creation. I had some ideas about Shatterspike, because it's cool, but I don't. I personally don't associate the name with the weapon that well, because if I remember correctly, a longsword is a slashing weapon. Let me just check that real quick. Let's see. That's open. Perfect. Longsword. The lonks. Yeah, it's a slashing weapon. And when you tell me that you have something called a shatter spike, I tend to think of it as like actually like piercing weapon, not even a bludgeoning weapon. Like I get what the idea is, and I get how bludgeoning is very useful, specifically to breaking objects and stuff like that. But I kind of more like the idea of something like, we might start the item creation right now. So like, let's create a magic item. And this is gonna be kind of awful, just because I'm bad at using the homebrew creation system. Um, uh, I'm gonna go with the first one is, I'm gonna change it like this. And I know this is, I'm changing things around, and this is more like, this is my idea when you tell me about an item called the Shatter Spike. So I have two ideas. One is the Shatter's Pike, um, which I think it would be much more powerful than uncommon. I'm thinking this would be a rare item, the way that I'm doing it. So first of all, is of course it is a pike, not anything else. And then you 10 plus 1. If it hits critical, um, is there a, I don't know how to. Here we are. Add a spell. So I like the idea that they have here, where it's like as you hit, it like can break objects. But we're going to say this is piercing, um, or sonic to objects. Can deal piercing, or we'll just say it's or sonic, and you'll see why in just a sec. So what we do is we first of all make it magical, and the reason we're making it magical is because we're going to add in a spell effect. Oh, save changes first. Yes, always save the changes. Save changes. And then add a spell. Spell name is Shatter, and I think you're seeing where this is going. How many charges? I don't think this is gonna be a big thing, so I think it's gonna be minimum charges 0, max charges 1, save DC. I'm gonna say, let me see a character sheet real quick. I always forget how the division goes up. So +2, +3, +4, +5, +6. And so like an uncommon item is in here, a rare item is in here, or something like that. Or no. Xanathars, that's where I would go. Xanathars. Oh, so easy to find because it's the last one every time. Magic items. So minor items, major items, choosing items by level. Maybe it's in the crafting magic items section. So, Xanathar's guide. Um, Downtime, crafting an item. And I guess selling a magic item. There, crafting a magic item. Where would that be? There we are, crafting magic items. Of course, it's part of it. Okay, so the CR range for a common item is 1 to 3, uncommon is 4 to 8, 9 to 12, 13 to 18, and then 19 plus. And I believe, if we look at it, that's going to be pretty close to. It's like 1 to 4, and then 4 to 8, 8, and then 9 to 12. And to 12, and 13, 18. They should honestly just have kept the range that they were doing. I get the idea, but just keep the range that you have in the proficiency bonus. It's just easier that way. I get the idea that legendary items are supposed to be like that rare. Yeah, this has charges to cast spells. So yeah. Those are all first level spells. Comprehend languages. Yeah, those are all first level spells. Staff of Power. Is it the same thing with all things? Cone of Cold is 5 charges. Is Cone of Cold a 5th level spell? Double check. Cone of Cold is a. It was there on the left, on the right. 5th level spell, so definitely a 5th level spell. Let's pull up Staff of Power and let's check each of these. So that's 5th. This is the 5th level version and takes 5 charges. Glow of Availability 6, 5, 2 for 2nd, 5 for 5th. Magic Missile 1st. Raven Fuelman 2nd. Oh, that only takes 1 charge though. Interesting. Then Wall of Force 5. So why is the Raven Fuelman only 1 charge when everything else follows the rules? That might be a typo. That's something to ask about and think and wonder on. Or Raven Fuelman is just considered that bad of a spell, but I doubt it's that. I think that's just a typo they made, saying it takes 1 charge when it should take 2. Or it's a unique whatever. It's just the way things work. So back to crafting magical items. That's work week. Oh, where was it? I got lost. I do this all the time. Just getting lost on a page. Crafting magic items. There it is. Brewing potions, prime, loot value. Okay. We got an idea on those. So what is Staff of Power? Staff of Power is a very rare item. Okay. Staff of Charming is a rare item. Who will help only the characters complete a task for it. In addition to facing a specific creature, creating an item because of the gold piece cost covering other materials, those values, blah 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 blah. So you need somebody to help because of the things. That's actually an interesting idea. Is that you need to get help from these creatures, or kill them. Like the water weird is the essence of it, so perhaps you could just like kill it and take its body or something like that, or use a spell to extract its essence. And the stone you could take from an Androsphinx, but the Staff of Charming requires the cooperation of an Arcanoloth. That allows for a lot of discussion and just like being able to talk with people, which I think is something that's super important. If you, depending on your game of D&D, is you want to make sure you can have that discussion point with them, and it creates a challenge of like, well, how do we get this spell without the fighting and whatnot. But let's see, the listed price and creation time for any consumable items. have for consumable item. Okay, so all these prices are have for consumable item. When do you start getting the items that have... We're gonna check out our magic items section real quick. So I want to see when it is that you get the ability to start throwing around stuff with charges in it. I don't care about attunement. I care about charges. Please, no, come on. Yes, has charges. Perfect. Okay. So when can you get things with charges? It looks like the minimum is the alchemy jug, which isn't really a damaging thing. Ooh, there's different colored alchemy jugs. What book were those from? Candlekeep Mysteries. Oh, cool. So that's useful. Very cool. And the orange one, also Candlekeep. Yeah. Looks like it's mostly the same stuff each time, which I think is see, beer, boiling hot tea. Okay, so there's slight changes. That's cool. Having some changes is better than none. It can regain hit points. Once it's restored hit points, it can't do so again until next dawn. Let's make them weapons to make sure. Blah, 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 blah. Effects subtype. I don't want to click all weapons, but oh, right, of course. Boom. Artifacts, Dagger of Venom, which is the poison effect. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So it looks like rare. There's a couple things that are uncommon, but 1d4 bludgeoning and 3d4 thunder. Target must succeed on a DC 10 or be stunned. Deals thunder damage. Using its ability to deal thunder damage. Is a ranged weapon. Okay, so it's just once the boomerang deals thunder damage to a target, the weapon loses its ability to deal thunder damage. So maybe a rare is too powerful, is too powerful for what we have in mind, because this is a 1d4 and 3d4, and then they also have the saving throw, deals thunder damage. The weapon loses its ability to deal thunder damage. And its ability to stun a target. So yeah, that's not. We'll find out. We're gonna throw up the thing and then really think about what it would be. So we're crafting a magic item. It has 1 charge. Cast the spell at. I was just gonna give it the basic level of what Shatter is. I wasn't going for anything really out there, which is why it might be more uncommon, but we'll see. Shatter spell. There's a 2nd level spell, I think? Yeah, 2nd level spell. 2nd level spell falls within the 1st to 4 rating. And it's not going to be that powerful. Which takes 3d8 thunder damage. So yeah, we're going to say it's cast at spell level 2. And it would make sense for the thing to be 8, 9, 10, about 10, and then what's their assumed minimum on saving throws for many of these? Let's just look at the Staff of Power. Oh, sweet. While holding the staff, you can use an action to expend one using your spell save DC and spell attack bonus. Okay, that's cool, but it needs Enter the number. If this is not character, I'll save DC. If this is not entered and the character using the magic item is a spellcaster. Okay, so instead I need to come up with a number based on those rules, and I'm thinking having someone with a +3 modifier is not impossible. So that would be a 5, which would be a 13. So I'll say save DC is 13 for this one. It's not too out there. Could definitely be better. Okay, minimum charges has to be 1, but I don't understand that. Or I guess it's 2, because it costs the 2 charges. Number, okay, yeah. It costs 2. Additional information. Has charges, charge reset description. Shatterspike regains its charges each morning. Period. They get more powerful. Yeah, I don't see a reason not to. This weapon. There's be a note that goes somewhere else. Make it dawn. Each morning at dawn. Number of charges your magic item has. It has 2 currently. I'm gonna edit this section on the charges. It's the spell consumes charges. Enter the minimum and maximum number of spell charges it costs. So I'll say 6. DC 13. We're gonna put a note. Save DC assumes your proficiency level and then grants a plus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 5 of them. It grants a +2 bonus. Save DC assumes double your proficiency level. That would be it. No, that's not it, because it's save DC for this item uses your proficiency and grants a bonus of your proficiency -1. Thus, the weapon grows with you. This might be a more powerful item then, because if it's growing, it's going to be much more powerful depending on who the wielder is. Thus the weapon grows with your experience in all things combat related. Your experience in the world. Oh, you know what? This is going to be a lot easier. So it'll be 11 for this one, and then I'll just add more shatters as it goes forward. I think that's the way to do it. 3, 4, 5, 6. 13 and 2 is 3 would be 11, and then 2 would be 13. 5 and 6 is going to be 21. Yeah, okay. Cast at spell level 3. Perfect, okay. Shatter, 4/4, save DC of, we're at 4, so 4 and 3 is 7, 7 and 8 is 15. Cast at spell level 4, 17, because 5 and this is cast at spell level 5. Cast at spell level 5. 5 and 4 is 9. 9 plus 8 is 17. Yeah, this is right. And then this is 6. Cost 6. Cost 6. Shatter. Save DC is going to be 19 because 6 and 5 is 11. 11 plus 8 is going to be 19. Perfect. So this is I don't know exactly, like, this is what I mean when I said, like, this is gonna be a bad, poorly written weapon, because now it's like bloated with all these different ways to cast Shatter. Or it's not. That's weird. Why are they missing? It must not let you do multiples. That sucks. So we'll say minimum is 2, maximum is 6, casted spell level, to the level at which the item spell is cast 2 through 6, save DC 11 through 19, save. No, of course it's not. Of course it's not a valid number. Okay. Say the shatter spell may be cast from this weapon based on the proficiency level of the wielder. For each level of proficiency, each number in proficiency bonus you have, you are able to cast, you have equal, you can go for triple. I mean, that sounds insane, but we'll see where it goes from there. You have triple the amount in charges. This is definitely a rare item, at least, if not a very rare or a legendary. You have triple the amount of probably not. Like, it's very specific because it only uses Shatter. You have triple the amount in charges. For each, triple the amount in charges. Period. As your proficiency grows, so does your save DC. So does your save DC, period. Starting save DC is 11 based on the formula 8 plus proficiency plus proficiency minus 1. 11 for most adventurers. I assume that there's some people out there who lower the numbers. So starting save DC is 11 for most adventurers. And grows to 13, 15, 17, and finally 19. Oh dear. Why aren't you plugged in? There is... There you are. There you are. There you are. In addition, along with your growth, you are able to cast the Shatter spell at a level equal to the proficiency bonus of the at a level equal to your proficiency bonus. Period. Whatever level you cast Shatter at, determines cast the Shatter spell. Whatever you cast level you cast Shatter at, determine how many charges are lost. Thus, the base casting is 2, while an upcast 6th level version costs 6 charges. It seems like it's probably much too powerful, or it's probably right. It's because I'm used to playing with players who have like I'm used to playing with like single players, so giving them a weapon like this tends to like help out a lot. Because it's a lot to take in, especially like I need to edit this so it looks like it makes sense. The amount in charges as your proficiency grows, and then we'll make that. So that's at least like 3 separate things. It makes it easier to. Oh nope, it did not make it easier to read at all. Okay, cool. But so the idea is that it's a +1 weapon. I think I'll have it grow also. Fixed value. Grants a bonus to attack and damage equal to half your proficiency modifier. Instead of rounding down, you may pick for an extra +1. You may have a +1 to either attack or damage, but cannot change the choice once it is made. So that's just a quick thing. So this weapon's definitely going to be really powerful near the end. Maybe it's a legendary. I don't know if this counts as legendary, but it's definitely at this point rare to very rare item. For now, I'm just going to count it as a rare item. Yeah, Yeah, magic bonus, perfect. Okay. So now it does a little extra damage, it does a little extra attack, and it also has a spell component which lets you as the wielder do some very big things. I'm thinking what happens is like you can slam it in and then like fire off the thing. And then this is probably where it'll get really broken. So if anyone's out there watching and is like already thinking that this is way too much, strap in, because this is gonna get more. Enter the number of charges your magic item has. I can't do that here really because they don't have the thing that I'm looking for. Because they don't build for growth weapons. Because they just didn't. D&D Beyond, like, really, they taking the power out of the user's hands. Really, I think gives them a lot of problems because now that the power is out of the user's hands as far as like being able to just make items and make them make sense inside of a series of subcharts, now we're entirely reliant on them to make the changes, and people don't like waiting, or at least I don't like waiting. I don't think other people do in general too, because like there's like a list of things that like D&D Beyond is getting to but hasn't quite gotten to yet. Anyway, so we're gonna do this. If it can deal piercing or sonic damage to the object of your choice, further damage from non-magical sources can't harm the weapon. Okay, so that's good. And then I'm gonna add on a thing. If it hits an object, the hit is automatically a critical hit. And the wielder may choose to use the shatter, to use charges to cast the shatter spell. Period. Whether shatter is used or not, the weapon will deal the wielder's choice in piercing or sonic damage. Damage to the object. If the wielder is able to crit on another opponent, they may, and they choose, they may choose to cast Shatter as a single target spell, which will deal double the stated damage of the spell used. So basically, Shatter's Pike is an awful, terrifying weapon where if the opponent crits and gets it inside your chest and then clicks the Shatter button, you basically turn to jelly, because I don't think there's going to be a lot of people who can handle what this thing is bringing to the table, because we're looking at I believe it's a minimum of 3d8. It might be 3d10. Let me check Shatter. Shatter is a second level spell. Deals how much damage? 3d8. Yeah, 3d8. So that's 3, 4, 7 plus 3 is 10. So we're looking at about 10 damage. That's doubled to 20. Like a first level character. What I've essentially said is a first level character may, on average, choose to add 20 damage to their attack if a first level character gets a hold of this weapon. Which I doubt anybody would give this to a first level character because of how terrifyingly powerful that is. But the more powerful you get, the less, I think there's a little less oomph. It caps out as a 6th level spell, which means it's going to be doing 3 on second, so +4, so 7d8. 7d8 is going to be 10, 20, 23, 24, 24 about 24 damage, 48 damage, plus whatever it is you've rolled. A rogue would love using the Shatterspike. Unfortunately, they will not get their sneak attack because it is what it is. This is specifically built for somebody who's like a big, beefy soldier who's going to be using their pike to do things. You get Sentinel, you get Great Weapon Master Fighter. I think Great Weapon Master Fighter works with pikes, but I can't remember. But you build a fighter whose whole job is this, and you give him this weapon, and he is going to be so pleased until he finds something that's like able to beat that down. I'm gonna keep it at rare for now, and I'm sure that, you know, if anybody has any thoughts on it, go ahead and like message me or send me, or go on the Discord and talk about it. But this is the kind of weapon that I'm when you tell me Shatterspike, that's what my first thought was like it's a pike and it does this kind of stuff. And then I have another version of the Shatterspike, which is not Shatterspike, it's just a Shatterspike, which is the same thing. Which is just gonna be not as interesting, I think. It's gonna be take Shatterspike, and I'm literally just copying the name. That's why Shatterspike, Matt's homebrew. Woo! Uncommon. I'll keep this as uncommon. It has no charge. It does not require attunement because this does not this weapon is different. Any modifiers? No modifiers. Let's keep the modifiers. We're gonna keep it as much as we can the same, but this is just a much more simple weapon. We don't even have a save D. We'll make the save DC the same. Save DC will be save DC is calculated as follows. Wielders 8 plus wielders proficiency plus wielders proficiency -1. So we're going to calculate it the same way, just to make it easier. I don't like taking up time with things like this. It's actually a really good, useful thing of make all items follow this rule. I'm betting a lot of people have already done this, but it's super useful. Weapon is destroyed on use of Shatter spell. This is going to be a dagger. And I'm betting you've already picked up on what this might be. It's not a dagger, it's a spike. You could probably do arrow versions of this and a lot of other things now that I think about it. But this is going to be the... Is there a way to make it multiple? No. It's a shame I can't make this like the Shatterspike thing, and then it like is something that's like generic. We'll describe it as technology. Shatterspike magical weapon is a type. Shatterspike magical weapon is a type of What am I gonna call it? Magitech? Magical technology that can be imbued on any weapon which can be thrown or fired, such as from a bow or crossbow. Includes guns? Nah, I won't write that for now. When wielding, I'll just do this real quick. The wielder of the Shatterspike has two options. Maybe make it 2 words. Nah, I'm lazy. It's not gonna matter too much. Oh dear. Control R? No. No, it's all gone now. That's unfortunate. Well, that was my fault. Okay, we can rewrite this. Shatterspike technology. The Shatterspike is a type of magical technology on thrown or shot fired weapons. On thrown weapons or ammunition which can be shaped like a spike. Examples include, but are not limited to, daggers, javelins, arrows, and bolts, crossbow bolts. You always put include but not limited to when you know that they're gonna think of something insane to do with it. Or you're just not thinking like daggers, javelins. Spears, arrows, crossbow bolts. Technology imbued upon. Okay, so that's a good first paragraph. The weapon may either be used. The weapon may either be thrown slash either be used at range, releasing the shatter spell on an enemy zone. Sorry, thinking. Releasing the shatter spell. And destroying the weapon / ammunition used in the process. In addition to dealing the shatter damage as normal, those affected by the spell similarly take the original weapon's damage, or half on a successful save. See, the weapon may also be used to strike an individual opponent, in which case the shatter spell goes off, but but all damage is released inside of one person, inside of the target. This, while generally not done, as it is a waste of the benefits of shatters, of the Shatterspike's potential for area of effect. Is a good emergency option when caught unawares. And suddenly in melee with a rogue, scout, or assassin. Not with a rogue or scout. This is mostly as a military weapon. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So those were my two basic ideas for Shatterspike. This second one is not a super crazy powerful one like the Shatterspike, but I think this is a very cool for like a higher tech area, like higher magitech, like the ability to have an item and then just go like boom, and then an area explodes or a guy explodes. In which case the shatter spell goes off, but all damage is released, not just inside the target. I had this in my mind but didn't write it down. Is released inside of the target, and is released both inside of the target and upon all of their equipment and inventory. The idea is that it localizes the blast and tries to kind of burn them out, both inside the target. Potential for an area of effect. It's a good emergency option when caught unawares. Suddenly melee with rogue or scout, or when needing to destroy an important object on a person. So basically the way that works is, I know this is, let's see, note for DM, the point of using Shatterspike on one person is to disrupt all of their equipment, and in addition to the damage done to the person. Make sure to have the objects, object hardness, and AC, hardness, and hit point charts ready to determine what has been destroyed. I think that's a really important note. Like, the whole point is, because Shatter, I think specifically, is supposed to do damage to objects. Okay, no, it doesn't do... Oh, no, a non-magical item that isn't worn or carried also takes the damage if it's in the spell's effect area. So this specific line about Shatter needs to be ignored. So I'm going to note that in the information right here. Thus, the following line from the spell Shatter is to be ignored. So that's like, you got to know. That's the point. Like, you take this, you use it on the guy, it shatters him, it shatters all his gear. That's the point. It's all of his gear, all of his inventory. And I think that's really important to know, because it changes how you're gonna fight enemies when using a Shatterspike. Because if you want their stuff, you're gonna do your best not to use that weapon, even though it's a pretty decent weapon. And then the Shatterspike already is like a huge damaging thing. I was thinking of adding to it the same thing, but I think I'll keep that out for now, or I'll keep it out for now because it's clearly a different kind of beast, and destroying all the equipment on somebody. Maybe you could make the option of, if you know, the thought was maybe you could make the option that you take the crit and you can, instead of dealing double damage, have it do damage to the gear as well, but that's not me. But that if somebody wants to do that, that's a really different idea to go for. But yeah, so that was Shatterspike. That was my thought on this uncommon weapon. Where is it? It doesn't matter. So we're past Oakhurst. We're in the Citadel. Once you're ready to leave Oakhurst, the adventure truly begins. The overgrown old road winds through rocky downs. Here stands of old-growth oak and past abandoned farms. It is 7 miles from Oakhurst to the Sunless Citadel. 7 miles. Old road passes to the east of a narrow ravine. As the road's closest approach to the left, several broken pillars jut from the earth where the ravine widens. 2 of the pillars are straight, but mostly in a top sloped earth. Man, it is hard to keep going. I don't know why, but I'm not in on this, which is weird. Maybe it's just because I'm not prepping. We're gonna keep doing this though. Two of the pillars stand straight, mostly in the top. Sloped earth, others are broken, several have apparently fallen to dark depths. A few similar pillars are visible on the opposite side of the ravine. A sturdy knotted rope is tied on one end of the leading pillars on this side of the ravine. The ravine runs for several miles in either direction with an average depth and width of 30 feet. At the point where it most closely intersects the old road, it widens to 40 feet. Okay. Pillars are worn and broken. Dwarvish graffiti covers most of them. Ah, okay. So it's Goblin, but uses Dwarvish letters. Recognize the inscriptions as warnings and threats against potential trespassers. A successful DC 10 Intelligence or Wisdom Survival, Intelligence Investigation or Wisdom Survival. I really wish they would put it the other way around. Say it's Investigation, and then in parenthesis put the ability score. I know this is me being nitpicky, but I don't need to know it's an intelligence check if I know it's an investigation check. That unless you've radically changed the skill, I don't need to know it. It reveals that the area in and around a pillar has hosted many small campfires, some of as recent as a month ago. Someone went down to some effort to hide the evidence of the camps from casual scrutiny. Ah, this is huge. Alright, we're gonna stop when we get to the fortress because this is levels and locations. We're gonna take a long time doing this, I think. It's gonna be a while because I keep hitting points and I'm like, there's more of this. Descending, the rope tied to one of the leaning pillars hangs down in the darkness of the ravine. Judging by its good condition, the rope couldn't have been tied there any longer than 2 or 3 weeks ago. From the edge of the ravine, older and weathered handholds and footholds can be carved into the cliff face. These are goblin carved. Adventurers can easily climb down the knotted rope, using the wall to brace themselves. Using the carved indentations is slower, but not only slightly harder. The descent is 50 feet to the ledge. That's interesting, because 2 or 3 weeks is not a month, meaning this rope is probably not made by the previous adventurers. It might be, but they said they waited a month, so I think that's interesting. That's very interesting. There might be some other group. 2 to 3 weeks. Maybe they like replace it every once in a while, who knows. And then notes about the fortress itself. The following are true about the environment unless otherwise noted. Doors are wooden or stone. Light is beyond Area 2. Many rooms in the underground dungeon are lightless. Descriptions assume that the characters have a suitable light source and are able to see their surroundings. And ventilation, all keyed areas contain an adequate air supply. The air is renewed from countless cracks leading to the upper open cavern and surface. These cracks are too small for any but creatures such as giant rats to navigate. Go, giant rats! Go, go, go! You're the only reason that we'll ever survive. Go, go, giant rats! Go, go. Okay. So... maybe we'll keep going. No, yeah, I think this will be it for today. We got to about here. We did a good hour. So yeah, this will be it for now. Next time we're doing this, we'll look at this fortress and keep going. This is a lot of rooms. This is a lot. We're gonna play some Control. So gonna end the stream here and then start up some Control. Hope everyone had a good time. I know it was mostly just making magical items, but you know, sometimes that's what you do. D&D is all about what you're doing kind of as things progress. Besides, that's mostly why I'm reading through these is like I want to get ideas and then be like, well, how would I utilize this? Because Shatterspike is a cool weapon, but if you gave it to me as a player, I'd be like, this feels incomplete. Like it's a slashing weapon that does bludgeoning, and it's called the Shatterspike. Like I expect a lot of piercing damage when you tell me that's what we're doing, and so I don't know. Oh, maybe that could be a no. Okay, I was gonna make a note that maybe Shatterspike should only be piercing weapons, but no. I think the dagger is fine because it's both a slashing and piercing. It depends on how you utilize it. So anyway, I'm gonna start up control, and I'll see you guys in just a minute. Have a good one.